Hey guys, and welcome back to an NRL Fantasy Fanatics podcast. In today's podcast, we will be going over uh the games that happened in round four of the NRL. Sadly, Will Fanshawe cannot join us as he's playing tennis at the moment of the tournament. And also a special guest who would have come on. Uh, Nate Thompson, but unfortunately he's away on holidays as well, so I'll be going through this solo today. Overall, my opinion on the round, it was 7 out of 10. Very interesting. It was good to have that challenge with all the injuries early on. But yeah, a couple good games throughout it, and one of them being this game. Panthers, 22-16 of the Roosters. Not much you could do as a Rooster. Probably could have been in it more early. Looked a bit like a washout from Penrith. So they came back late in the half, but I think it was Jared, who was the person that got in the way, which was a bit iffy, in that sense, on that call. And the NRL has came out and said they got it wrong, so it's pretty interesting on that Roosters maybe could have been still a shot and maybe slotted a field goal to win the game. You never know. But let's look at the top here of the points tally. Taruva, 70 points, 3 tries, 3 line breaks. Uh, very very I don't even know what to say about it. Like, Taruva isn't a buy, in my opinion, because he's not going to score 3 tries every week and going to get you that 70. He'll be lucky to score 20 some weeks. Some weeks he might score a try, get 30 odd. Some weeks he might score two and get 50. And then some weeks he'll have a freak effort and score three. It's pretty much a roulette with these wing fullbacks. Are they going to score one week? Are those going to score this week? But I don't know if Taruva will be a consistent guy scoring hat tricks and scoring 70. So a very sporadic guy, so not a buy. But a guy who could be a buy, Nat Butcher. We have a look at him here. 67 points, averaging 46.8. Um, he's lost 59k. He's become a bit cheaper, but if we have a look at here, he played this round. He put 65 tackles, which is absolutely outrageous. Didn't run for that many as he normally usually doesn't. But early on in the season, he did He did. He didn't get that starting role, but he has got the 80 role the last 2 weeks, and he has really shown this week why he could be a buy, in my opinion. If you got the money from it from Cleary, he could be good because he has been able to get 70s, 50s most rounds, mostly some rounds last year. Nat Butcher, especially with like Pierre letting us down Tupanua, he could definitely be with the freed up of cash a buy, in my opinion. So he could be a buy. Could be a pod this week. But the next guy, Terrell May, he cemented his role as a captain, as a captaincy option. 65 points off 55 minutes played. PPM beast really showed up with that starting role. All I gotta say about him is he's a freak. Joey Manu also 10 tackle boss again. Those 20 points. 61 points with all base is absolutely outrageous from Manu. Definitely could be he could be a buy on your side. 654. He's about he's right where his price is now. I reckon. I think that AK made. He's a bit sporadic too as well. Um, but he could definitely be a buy. He's been very dominant, especially in that first rounds, Manu, and he could be a buy if you're looking for him. He was at one point a buy last year and maybe a buy early on. I'm gonna give him another round or so because I've still got that cash freed up. If I want to get him or so, but I think mostly this week's just edge, cementing a good edge. We look at Yo. By 57 points, you take that. He did his job this week. If you captained him, you maybe wanted a bit more, but 184 meters, 35 tackles, yeah, maybe a couple more offloads, and he gets up to those high 60s, 70s. But you take that from Yo, he'll be consistent all year. Uh, Dylan Edwards, 57, 1 try, a lot of attacking stats there. Definitely not a buy in my opinion with that 689k. For a guy for 40 to 57 points with that many attacking stats, 100% like all those attacking stats and that the just how many meters gained also, it's not promising for Dylan Edwards, but he's a good player, not to get him wrong. It's just pretty sporadic with those points. Like you reckon every week he's going to score a try and get a try assist. Like yeah, maybe more tackle bust from him. You could expect more, but yeah, Dylan Edwards definitely not a buy in my opinion this week. Brandon Smith, 49 points in that 52 minutes. He scored a try, eight eight demerits. He was all right. Not much really to look at about him. The guy I want to talk about Lindsay Smith. He could be good. An absolute pod. He still played 63 minutes, which is a lot. Fisher Harris comes back. Like a lot of tackles made this round. But Liam Henry, let's have a look at this guy. With no James Fisher Harris, I think he comes back soon. But the last two rounds, he's played 42 minutes, 40 minutes, like PPMB's 49, 44. He's a little baby Terrell May, let me call him that. He's made your money, but he's made that much money so far. Might not be a buy this week. Because Fisher Harris comes back to make his points. So if you're looking to buy him, maybe not. But definitely if you want to, have a look at him. But in my opinion, no. Sam Walker, expect more from him, I guess. The spine was a bit disappointing for the Roosters. We go down to Tedesco as well. Didn't get his hand on the ball. I said last week, what was the key word I had for it? It was involvement. Like when James Tedesco is playing well, when he's involved in Origin games, they're winning. They look like they're making meters. They're making moves up the field, getting down their own the opposition end. You just didn't see that with Tedesco this week. A bit disappointing. No attacking. Expect a bit more attacking stats from him. With a try assist or so in there, just didn't have his hands on the ball. I guess this game, as he was very middle sort of game, and you'd think he'd lurk off the middles, which he usually does. Tedesco, he's really around that rock a lot. Tedesco, so a bit disappointing. To only 32, but definitely he's got Bulldogs. It's a big step back for him. The Dogs, so he could go absolutely nuclear against the Dogs. So don't get me wrong. Tungo 37 off 50, like 80 minutes, averaging 55 now. Had two try assists. It's like Dillbags. Dylan Edwards. He had 37 points with only two two try assists, but look at all those demerits. Only ran the ball 109 meters. The back five always run it big. Tungo usually can run up to 150, 180 meters. Again, it was more Taruva's side. I think he was on Taruva's side getting those try assists. So could be. He's definitely not a buy, especially with that price. He still made money. Definitely not a buy to look at. But if you have him, not a sell yet, please hold him. Mitch Kenny, 32 of 80, a lot of tackling, a lot of demerits. He's definitely a hold in your side. Tupanu as well. He will be a sell this week, in my opinion. He goes to the bench, I believe. It's been talked about, and I think it will happen. Just to lack of form, like all those demerits, like 4 missed tackles again. He's had so many missed tackles, and a try there, getting 32 points. Not good for Tupanua. Definitely a sell on your side. A guy who I also want to talk about, Taylor May. He was really good first round. Everyone brought him into your side. I didn't. I held back on him. I was going to try and find a way to get him in. He's just been really disappointing. If you have him, he's gone down to 592K now, but he's definitely a hold, I reckon. Um, he's definitely a hold. For his price, a bit disappointing, but I reckon he will have a bounce back. It's a bit interesting with the back five of Penrith. They're all due for tries at least some point in a range of 3 rounds. So I definitely think he's a hold, especially when he is due for a couple tries soon. We look down Maverick Geyer on his debut. Congratulations, mate. Well deserved. We'll move on to the next game. Oh, don't want to book a flight at Qantas, actually. Um, look onto the next game. Rabbitohs Bulldogs, an outstanding performance from Damien Cook, 84 points. He's really made a statement back in that side, proven Demetrio why he is a locked 80-minute player. Like 48 tackles, absolutely weapon. 3 turnovers. I really like how he's making some darts out of dummy halves with that 90 meters gained. Yeah, not many negatives, but really good 84 points from Damien Cook. Definitely could be a buy on your side, but everyone's got Grant. But if you want a guy on your bench to just hook a cover, I guess, or maybe just a guy there to make points, Damien Cook could be an option. If you want to free up some cash and like your wing fullbacks or someone and go cheaper options like Rapana or someone, Damien Cook could be a buy, especially with Cleary gone, free up some cash. Reed Marnie, he was good. 80, 57 tackles, a lot of tackles in this game as well as the last. Yeah, not much to say about him except for just tackle freak like all these hookers are. Jack one, two tries, definitely not a guy to look at, especially just in the centers. I feel like he'd be better in the halves as a fantasy player. Cameron Murray was pretty good, 60 from 61, averaged at 0.9 points per minute, which you really like, and a try assist there from for the bloke. Played middle the whole time. Uh, yeah, didn't have the ball as much, like 96 meters gains. Then I could have a bit more ball involvement, so just a couple more tackle busts and meters gain there for Cameron Murray to get him those high 70s. He's very good, but definitely not a buy at this round, especially with just other positions need to be filled, like edges, wing fullbacks now. Um, Max King, yeah, he was really good. Definitely not a buy in my opinion. He's a very sporadic player, but he was like Yo. Actually he's a bit like Yo, I guess. He's pretty I wouldn't. He's in between sporadic and consistent. Max King. He's never been a buy yet. But it's interesting. He just stayed consistent. Just had a nice performance with the 37 tackles and 141 meters gained. Yeah, take that from Max King if you have him, but definitely not a buy. Latrell Mitchell was good. Um, the try saver, 4 goals, like really good. Bit like good base as well. Like you take that from Latrell Mitch, that's just a solid game from him. Um, maybe not a buy. Probably be looking at Turbo or KP. As buys this week for wing fullbacks, but I definitely think last round was definitely the wing fullback rounds. Jacob Preston is gone with I think his jaw, very tough of him. Unfortunate for him if you've got him in your side, definitely a place where you can free up cash. Someone like Kai Pierce-Paul. But we look back down here to Dylan Hutchinson, really good comeback game from him. Really good. Didn't have as many kick meters. If we look at Burn, it's supposedly a shared role there. But I've been hearing like Sexton, they really want Sexton back in that side. And he's been doing a lot of work outside the games. Like I've outside of playing, while these blokes are playing, he's been really putting in the hard yards. Toby Sexton, and he's trying to get his spot back over Dylan Hutchinson, which could be an issue for him. But 25k made with that 45. Really happy with him. Solid performance from him. We look Curran. If you had him in your side still, he's just not getting a lot of minutes. 41 points. Savage Totola, definitely a hold this week with 41 points, only 50 minutes. Again, 50 minutes, sorry. He'll just be consistent. 40, even maybe 50, maybe 1 week or so. Yeah. Um, keep going down. If we have a look at Taylor Stunkin, if you got him in your side, wow. You're really kicking yourself. We did tell him not to buy him. But 34 points from 31 minutes. It was really good from him, but like again, if you have him, it's a bit kicking the butt. Where you could have gone, it could have gone to someone else there instead of Talos Duncan, or literally save the trade. Definitely wasn't the buy. Blake Taff again. He looked like a buy early on, but not anymore. You have a look at him. He's just hard trying to find points for him unless he's getting 2 tries or so. Kiraz down 23 points. A bit disappointing from his absolute cracker of a game last week. 4 tackle boss, 115 meters, just no attacking stats there. And like these wing fullbacks, if there's not really much attacking stats, you're gonna have struggle to score above 40. That's why like Latrell Mitchell is good. He's got that kicking role as well. Like guys with kicking roles are really good. Just give you those extra points. It's just an area depth your players can have. A guy I'm really disappointed in. Um, I think they called him Deck Chair back in Penrith. Watching the documentary, but good old Deck Chair, 21 points from 68 minutes. He's playing that. He's just, he's just like look how many demerits there. 0 tackle boss with his, I think 6 or 7 runs or 8 runs he had throughout the game with 64 meters. Really disappointing from him. Jamin Salmon, only the 21 points from 68 minutes. He's still a hold in your side. Definitely with that big minute roll, he should hopefully start ticking over some points. Another really, really, really disappointing guy. Everyone has him in the team pretty much, with 40% owned. Sam Hughes. We thought he'd be good. Thought he'd be getting minutes. He's getting 14 minutes. He's getting 14 minutes with 8 points. It's a bit disappointing. He might start losing money, even going down to 250. But I can't really see you selling him when there's a lot more injuries this week as well. Move on to the next game. Bronx and Cowboys, an absolute wet weather masterclass from Adam Reynolds. It was a good game to watch, even though it was a bit of a washout in the end for Broncos. Cowboys always stuck in there to the end. Um, Reynolds is really good. I wouldn't find him as a buy. I don't know, just injury that he's getting old. Adam Reynolds is, so he's gonna have a bit of trouble with injuries. But Carrigan, if you still don't have him, he's a buy. I'm telling you, I got him in. He was really good, like 41 tackles. He'll be gritty every single game. He'll dig deep. He didn't have many offloads this game, like a turnover or something, which will be. Oh, you had one turnover, but like those offloads and then maybe a couple more tackles from Carrigan. I'll push him in the high 70s. I reckon he'll be an easy average 60 this year. He's like the yo of the Bronx, pretty much. Drinkwater, yeah, you look really good, especially with those five errors in the wet. Just imagine just if that wasn't in the wet, he had a bit of confidence. He definitely could be a buy at 708K. He was really good last year. If he gets a hands on the ball like all the other wing fullbacks, he was really electric, Scott Drinkwater. So I think he could be a buy also with Ponga and Turbo again. Yeah, we'll speak about Turbo also later on. Dearden was good. Not really a buy. Pretty sporadic player. Cotter was all right with his 46. Came back from that ankle issue with only 59 minutes, didn't play the full 80. He had 20 off him this week, but 40 tackles as well. You take that from him. 46, he's definitely a hold this week. Reece Robson struggling a tad, still at 697K, averaging 50. Definitely holding your side. I don't reckon he'll play Origin. I don't know if he was named in that squad that was announced. Uh, but definitely a hold in your side. Keep going down. Val Holmes, yeah, scored a try, 41. Just a bit of lackluster in that wet there. 3 errors. Definitely a guy who's gone big, but just the price on these high centers like 700K, and realistically, you're not spending that much on a center. So this week, definitely not a guy to look at. Tristan Saylor was awesome, even though didn't score a lot of points this week. He's definitely not a buy, but like he's a really good footy player to watch out later in the future. It's good to see Tamalolo with some more minutes. Definitely not a guy to look at. We see Willison with a head knock. I just saw then. So Big Ben Takura comes in for them this week, which we'll talk more about tomorrow in the team list. Um, Azure Man, only 29 points with a try and a try save. Like if you got him in your side, he makes a lot of missed tackles. Bit disappointing. Like he's lost 900. He's lost 99K. Definitely a sell on your side. Dean Mariner, 27, didn't go for a try this week. He's not much of a base player, old Dean Mariner. He could be a bit risky. He's got a bit of upside and downside on him, but mostly downside with like not many attack when he doesn't have many attacking stats. He won't be scoring those 40s. He won't be like Latrell or like Kalen Ponga scoring those 40s without many attacking stats. Without many attacking stats. So definitely not a buy this week, but I reckon if you have him in your side, a hold. Finifaku, Carl Finifaku, 26 points, 67 minutes played. Like, played a lot of minutes on that edge. Still, he's making you money. I reckon he's still a hold. He's definitely not a sell. He's still got money to make. But yeah, hopefully he can go a bit better next week because he had that try in him last week, which just threw a couple gurus off about thinking that he's a freak or not. But definitely is a guy to hold. Not much to look about down here. Just Corey Oates, that try. Good to see him back playing footy. Oh, had enough of you, Jason. We'll move on to the next one. Next game. Dragons and Eagles. Interesting game. I didn't watch it, but I heard it was pretty interesting. Um, Ola Kawadu, a guy to talk about. Definitely a guy who's due for a trial. So every round, runs a good hard line. Off that crash ball. Who can go over for a good try a couple rounds. So he's definitely look, like 750k, him off a feeder could be a buy this week, especially just with the lack of um edges that we've got at the moment, like cheap guns like we had Preston last year, and we've just struggled this year to really pinpoint one. This year it's finding a good edge in your side that's in lock. But Olakawadu could be a buy for you this week, like 62 points. That's really good from him. 205 meters gains. A lot of demerits too, which is an upside to him. So he could be a 70-point player. Sewell was good, came back. Had a try in him, which is good to see. Only the 55 points, but it's pretty good from him. 6 demerits. With Jen Sewer, I don't reckon he's a buy on your side. Definitely a hold. Um, and that's pretty much all I got about Sewer. He's 100% not a buy. I just don't reckon he'll be that high 60-50 guy when I'd rather spend the money on Olakawadu than Sewer. DeBellin, 62 minutes, 50 points. He's lost a lot of money. I've been planning on my team a bit more throughout with this buy and origin period, and I've been having a look at Jake DeBellin later on in the year with how much money he's losing and then the minutes that he's playing. It could be very interesting to see what happens with him throughout the year. So keep an eye out on him. Daly, he's been struggling all year. He's lost a lot of money, 141k in the start of the year, in the first 4 rounds is absolutely ridiculous. But he's just getting a bit old, Cherry. Bit really disappointing to see 229 kick meters, and that's all. So definitely not a buy. He's lost a lot of money. Could be a sell if you have him in your side. Garrick was good with 45 points. Not much attacking stats, which is really good to see with the strong base. Garrick could be a guy to really look at in your side to hold that center and wing fullback position. I think if you've really got a center and wing fullback position, it allows you to put Burbo and Strange, one of them in the emergencies. Because really, if you have a look at Burbo and we have a look at Burbo, like he played the 60 odd, and he scored a couple 20s. He scored that one good score, but he's definitely a hold on your side. Hopefully, he's due for make a bit more money. Hopefully, get up to 400k. But it's just good to have one of them on your emergency. So just puts a bit more depth in your side, especially that will win you the head-to-heads if one of them's got Burbo and you've got a stronger guy. Like Garrick, he could be a pod this week. He's definitely a good player. Can cover those both positions, which is really flexible with the buys. Look down, Flanagan was good again. 40-40. I scored 50 actually last week, I believe, but another 40 for him. Really good. Yeah, not much to really say about him, but he's good. Definitely not a buy, just a hold in your side. Just 432k. I'm not buying him only to make probably about another 50 odd k. I saw a lot of people memes out of Tommy Turbo putting the captaincy role. You're ridiculous on thinking you're gonna sell him. He's even more of a buy. He's got who does he have next week? He has St. George. Is that correct? They play twice. Yeah, wow. I don't know, Penrith. Yeah, it could be interesting against Penrith, but he's definitely a hold. Maybe not a buy this week with Penrith, but he could still just get his hands on the ball, honestly. With Travojevic, 146 meters gained. I just don't know what he was lacking. Um, Maybe not a buy this week, but next week. He was a buy to bring him last week, but 660k. I think he'll lose a bit more money and only score 30 odd points against Penrith. It's a big risk bringing him in against Penrith. Just a massive, just a lot of full force. It's attack throughout the middles in that game. You always see your middles go big against Penrith, so don't think he's a buy for that round, but he's definitely see what happens with him. It could be a buy in round 6 again. Keep going down. Sloan was good, 2 tries and 39 points. Just not looking at him. Like Burbo, only played 50 minutes. I don't know what was up with that. He's been playing a lot more minutes. Yeah, just really disappointed. Disappointing. Just want a bit more out of him. Yeah, and that's about it. If you got Tommy Talau, well, you know he's due for 14 points. He was like Camperera last week. Yeah, he could score 50 or with a try or so, and then score very low points. Okay. Dolphins Titans, a very interesting game. The Sarko showing some fight back. With 74 points here, and also Hamaso with 59 points. And Flegler, who's been really good. A lot to look at here. Sarko, he was good. No tries there with 74 points. He looks good. A lot of meters gained, but just again, really expensive. I'd rather go Ponga, uh, a Ponga, or maybe even Turbo, even when he's playing against Penrith instead of Osako, because Osako is very sporadic with those 30s. Like it's very interesting with wingers. I'd rather a fullback on my side. So if you're picking over a fullback and a winger, definitely go that fullback option. Um, Hamaso really, really good. A lot of attacking stats here, but you expect that from Hamaso. He's that type of player. Um, all these wing fullbacks are. It's just if they're going to get their hands on the ball, 59 points, you take that from him and you move on to the next week. Definitely not a buy. Um, but
Hey guys, welcome back.
oh, hello, bench. We got bench here.
Yeah, how you going, boys?
We're just going through the Titans and Dolphins game.
Yep.
So we keep going down to Ewan Aiken. He was good on the edge, played the full 80 with the 50-point average. Really nice to see. The 35 tackles and 147 meters gains. It could be an option if he's going to hold that. I don't know when Lemuelu comes back,
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't be looking at him because I think Lem's only like 2 weeks away.
yeah, could be due. But for
He's not
Fifita,
off
is
there.
it?
But if you're struggling in the centres with Burlow and Strange, you could look at Ewan for a couple of weeks.
Oh well, I was talking about before about Ruben Garrick as a guy.
Yeah.
But we move on to David Fifita.
He looked very good.
He did 51 points. He had that try saver though. In 55 minutes, he really looked good, averaging like 60 odd. Hopefully throughout the year, and could be a buy on your side if you got that extra K. I know a lot of people have that 400K from Cleary, so he could be a buy on your side.
He did come off the bench though, which is a bit worrying for me.
I reckon he'll get his starting spot back over. Who would it be over though?
Khalees Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I definitely think he'll get that position back. Move down. Not much really to talk about here. Bostock with his 2 tries. Marshall King actually fighting back with a 47. He was good, a bit good for a bit last year. Bit risky though with Marshall King. A lot of downside with that shoulder injury and just struggling to come back.
Jack Bostock's playing unreal.
Yeah, he is. Just
me very happy.
Again, I'd be looking for a fullback more than a winger because they're very sporadic. Like 2 tries, 45 points. I don't think every week Jed Bostock's going to score 2 tries. So
nah. Herbie was all right. Was a 40 you take it?
Yeah, 40 you take it, but with a try. Yeah, here or there with him. Brimson, 2 try assists, 39 points. Definitely not a buy.
No.
100% not. Low average now. He's lost a lot
fine.
of money.
He was someone I was big on if he didn't get a suspension. Looks very good at 13.
We keep going down. Not much more. Fodawaker, I don't know. He's lost so much money now, Fodawaker. Last year he was averaging 50. With a high minute roll. Even I thought Tino, he'd come back, and with Tino gone, I thought he'd play more minutes, but it's not the case.
So,
Tanner Boyd.
What are your thoughts? Is Tanner Boyd a sell? Like, it doesn't look like he knows how to tackle in the front line.
No, I don't think Tanner Boyd is a sell. Even with a lot of missed tackles there, he's still got room. Like, he came off that bye.
Stats at all.
Yeah, it's positives though with those attacking stats. With no attacking stats, I think, in my opinion, I'm keeping Tanner Boyd, even though he's at 594K. He's losing me 41K, but he just came a bit off that bye. But I reckon he's due for a big week with Who does he have next week?
No
Who's
clue.
that? No clue, but I reckon he's a hold on your side if you have him. Jaden Campbell comes back.
A lot of people were looking at him, but
yeah,
he was never really a screaming buy.
No, 100%. Yeah, just not much down here.
Isaiah Katoa fell back to earth after that 57.
Yeah, 100%. Pereira, wow, on the emergencies.
Well, that's for this week.
Yeah, I know. Warriors and Knights. I gotta say, this was a very dud game.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know. It was very dud. It was just dull in general. It wasn't one of my
Ponga whacked
favorite.
it.
Yeah, he was really good in a losing side. Guys, just to let you know, I got a new segment. We've got our top 3 best players from the round that I've chosen, and we'll go through them after the team list. But Kalen Ponga was awesome. 2 line breaks, a try assist. He was really good at 72 points. Like he's also kicking too. He was putting up some big bombs. A lot of tackle busts as well. Just all around good effort from a wing fullback there.
Yeah,
Wade Egan come back from injury. What do you think of him?
he was good, but you wouldn't be looking at him just too injury prone, and he's a player that is very consistent. Like he'll get you 60s and then 40s, and like he could be one of the best hookers, but I just think Harry, Appy, and Reese, I'd be looking at him over him.
100%. Tohu Harris again, consistent, very consistent.
Very good, and didn't play at the 80 either, which is something to say, but he was very good.
Sean Johnson, 59 points. He was all right. You take
Got
that
the
from
goal
him if
kicking
you have
back
him.
too.
Yeah, over Metcalf.
Yeah, well, Metcalf got injured though. Maybe that's why. Because
Yeah,
remember he
he's
broke
done
his
his
leg.
lower.
Yeah.
Kai Pearce-Paul, he's definitely a buy this week in my opinion. He's definitely can slot in my side. If you wanted to sell Tupanua or Piakora, he's definitely a
Well,
guy
with
to look at.
Hosking out too, the edge positioning becomes very thin.
Yeah, very. I've been talking about that. We could selling like if you got Hosking like Ola Kawadu also could be a good buy as well.
Yeah.
Got Fafita as well back. Yeah, a lot of good options.
Yeah.
I've heard the hype so much about Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Um, he really puts in his all throughout every single game. 283 meters gained. He was really good. Had his hands
Yeah,
on the
that's
ball.
ridiculous.
But he goes back to center. That's the only issue.
Just not a lot of attacking stats there either. Like he used to get a lot more tackle busts.
Yeah. Just issue is he goes back to center. So, moving
Yeah,
down.
so I wouldn't be looking at
The
him at center.
Vanilla Blake only the 44 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting. And the Tohu only 68.
Mm.
So I think Adam, you hold him definitely.
Yeah. Coggo, wow. Hasn't had a good start in that number 7 jersey. He'll probably stay there, in my
Well,
opinion.
he hasn't been playing terribly. Just like no attacking stats, you know.
Mm. But keep moving down like it was just a dud game. Well, I guess they gave Bunty 24 minutes. Jazz Tavana was back. Rocco Berry, they were all right. Not much to really look about down here. But
Yeah, not
Luke
much.
Metcalf, he had a fracture. I think he's out for
Yeah, he's a sell.
6. He's had surgery.
Yeah.
Next up,
Yeah.
Sharks.
This game really hurt me out. Like, you know, I've been talking about Jordan Rapana a lot, and Jordan Rapana just proved that he wasn't like he's very inconsistent.
Like Nico, if you got Nico, you're happy.
Yeah, you're very happy with Nico, and you're very happy with Cam. If like we've been saying all along, he should be getting held, and you're very happy with Jamal.
Yeah, like Jamal was really promising. Like, look at that. Pretty much all base, only those 3 goals.
Yeah,
Good kick meters, real good from Jamal.
and Kurt Hero looked all the first grader.
He did. Definitely did. He looked very impressive. Was on his debut. A lot of people had him early in the season and didn't look at the team list in round 1 and kept him in your side. And you're just absolutely just loving life
Laughing.
if you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't understand how Ricky Stewart justifies playing Danny Levi for 69 or 63 minutes when Tom Starling's like he could be top 5 hookers in the league if he played 80 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But he did duck over for that try, Danny Levi.
Yeah. Ronaldo, you kind of see the 2 tries and he falls back to the pack.
Definitely. Timoko, like the centers didn't really have a good round. To be fair,
No.
Strange was all right. He didn't look bad. He
Yeah,
just
he
had an
defended
average
very well.
game. Yeah,
The
100%.
horse looked actually he didn't look bad. The horse at all, just no real attacking stats or.
I didn't really see him out
busting.
there much.
Yeah.
I hopefully can lose a bit more money. Might be a buy later on.
So I think
Smithies.
Morgan Smith
Sell.
is a safe sell now. Like the horse is back, and Jordan Rapine is definitely a hold.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
He's made us a lot of money, like 50 or 60 odd K, and
Definitely 1K, yeah.
yeah, definitely a hold.
He still had that try assist, 34. Yeah, he's 100% a hold.
Yeah.
Xavier Savage looked impressive, but definitely not a fantasy player. Hosking,
Safe to say he's a sell.
he's definitely a sell, yeah. Only 43 minutes. Was that because of the head knock or?
Yeah, well, he split his head open
Wow, I didn't
and
know that actually.
failed his Cat 1 HIA.
So not good. Hosking definitely a sell.
Yeah. And
What's good?
Seb
Strengthen the edges.
Chris, a guy that everyone was looking at this week with an 18. You're not happy with that if you own him.
No, 100%. It's center. Yeah,
And you see Tom
disappointing.
Starling down there with the 22 minutes.
Yeah, bit of an interesting game. Probably not my favorite to watch games throughout
No.
the round. But this game was absolutely electric. Hopgood was good. Hop God, as we call him, with the try assist and line break, looked good.
Yeah.
Like not much to say. Just back to old usual
I
Hopgood
mean,
from last year.
we've spoken about him before, and I said, gets a goal kicking and Moses gone. He's
Oh yeah,
almost close to a must-have in your side. Like, especially with the
Gutherson.
struggling of the wing fullbacks.
Hmm.
Like the Guffarino, he was unreal.
We
Like it
did
was,
talk
it
about him.
was insane the game he put up there.
Yeah, he was awesome. Still had a try assist, like good attacking stats. You can expect that though without any Mitch Moses. And we said Dylan Brown will get 60 without Moses. And look,
Yeah, he
the research
ran
really
and
did pay off.
divided them with Yeah, he kind of like divided the kicking meters with Dylan Brown.
Yeah. He's lost a bit of money, so it could honestly be a buy, like a safe pickup. And it will
Yeah,
make you some money if he keeps it this trajectory. Sean Lane was impressive. A lot of people actually did pick him up early in the season,
yeah, he
which
looked
is
all right.
interesting. Not much.
Stefano looked very good. He's had a
Mm,
very good season, start of the season.
averaging 50.
Yeah.
Uh,
John
Bape,
Bateman looked somewhat back in
Papali.
fantasy form, and
Yeah.
if John can drop a bit of money, he'll be a very interesting option.
Mm.
Papali's
Uh,
had an alright start to the season, but I'm looking at him.
with Galvin, oh wow, he's a freak.
He's
Um,
all the
I'm,
first better. He scores
I'm
65 if he plays 80 minutes because he gets that sin bin, like not 60, maybe 60.
yeah, and it just imagine as a young kid getting sin bin just really affects you. But apparently he can't rookie because of his suspension. Won't be able
Yeah,
to go for rookie, which is really disappointing for the young kid.
he deserves it.
Definitely does. We hope C comes back. It was a very
I'm,
ugly tackle though.
I'm interested to see Latu Fainu get a run off the
Mm.
bench. The Tigers, see how he goes because he's very talked about first grade.
Yeah, yeah. What happened to Brendan Wakeham?
He left.
Oh, we
Um,
moved Corus out.
so you just like we spoke about it. Appy, he had a good week, and then like something that was very red flagging about Appy is just he has a knack of missing tackles, and he has 14 negatives in this game.
Yeah, I actually looking at a lot of players, like a common thing we're seeing theme is a lot of negatives throughout this round. With just fantasy players in general. We keep going down. Caesar is definitely not a guy to look at. Sivo with his return. Talangi definitely got minced by his former.
Talangi looked good at a 301k. He looked like a good buy.
Yeah, he got minced though by his. A lot of hype around. They used to play in their junior clubs. Old Galvin
So
and Talangi.
something that took my eye is one of my favorite players, Ryan Madison, starting on the edge, and he just looked really good. Like he scored all right, 32 and 51. I just think like on the edge, he can score very well for you.
Yeah, his position really got taken. I really see him more as a lock forward, Madison, but just Hop God there is just a bit disappointing for him.
Yeah,
Penasini 24, and
he's a
again
sell
lost,
with no what's his face? Mitch Moses there. He's a definite sell.
and Lossick comes straight back to earth with the 22.
Yeah, that's two in a row. You could be looking to sell him now that you've
Yeah,
covered Harry Grant's buy.
100%. Just a lot of trades being used up early. Well, we do see. Oh, we'll actually talk about this tomorrow. With hands getting dropped.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
it.
it. All
A
the games
couple of
done.
couple things. We had a couple questions sent through. I want to have a look at on the account, and I just wanted to answer. We just had Dylan Brown or Joey Manu. From Lewis Stevo. Lewis, if you're watching this, definitely go Dylan Brown is a guy you can look at. Even though Joey Manu was really good with that many tackle busts.
Yeah, definitely Dylan Brown just playing the
Dylan
7,
Brown just 60 points at 7, like sharing the kick meter role. Yeah, he was really good. How long's Galvin out for? 2 weeks with the suspension. A question that really fancied my eye was, should I trade Taylor May? I wouldn't say yes. I wouldn't say no. Oh, no, I don't think you trade Taylor May. He's definitely due for a try soon. He has to be due for the try. For a
Yeah, I think
try soon.
Talen's a definite hold.
Yeah. And then you could also Olaquadu, definitely a buy. Money's back this week. Definitely not a buy to look at. That's probably about it. But moving on to my next segment that I've thought about is standout players from the week. The 3 standout. So number 1, I have. Oh, if this wants to press. Oh, not Adam Reynolds, but Damien Cook. He's my number 1 player of the week, fantasy player. He had an awesome round,
Damien looked unreal.
84 points, massive comeback. I need the single line break to score 84 with 48 tackles, 3 turnovers, absolutely amazing. Was darting out a dummy half a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
Damien looked really good. He just looked back running the footy.
yeah. A question I want to ask you, Fanchel, is Nat Butcher, the lack of run meters this bloke has and how many points he is scoring is just ridiculous. Why is this so? His stats look like he's playing dummy half.
Yeah, he's just a work ethic on
Defense.
He's just a workhorse on defense. Like that's 65 tackles, and the Roosters have never really been known for big running like meter eaters at the edge position.
Yeah. But hopefully this comes up now. Second player was Kalen Ponga. He was really good, especially in a losing side. I thought it's a massive comeback, and he was a great buy for myself. 2 goals, a try assist, 2 line breaks. Wow, in a losing side. What were your thoughts on him?
Oh, it was a tough watch. Like not owning him and just getting turbo over him, and he looked good. I thought he could have scored any play, just the line breaks. He's just always there in support too. Now he's done that with 0 tries and 1 try assist.
Yeah, it's awesome signs for KP.
And he's kicking too, like
Yeah.
in play.
My next player was actually Adam Reynolds. I had not really because
I actually thought about bringing in Adam Reynolds this week just because Cleary was out.
well,
And
I've told the audience that I don't think he's a buy because just his injury prone and age, I just don't see him as a buy.
He's never really been fantasy relevant. Like, yes, he scores. Like, yes, he kicks a lot, but he doesn't really give you much on defense, and like won't score you a lot of tries and that. Like.
Yeah, well, it was just an absolute clinic out there. I thought he had to get that 3rd position, even though he's not really a relevant fantasy player to put in your side or something. Just with his injury proneness and how old he's getting,
if you're
just an
looking
absolute masterclass.
if you're looking for a good pod, you could bring him in. But something that's very alarming for me is just like the run meters that Adam runs for over his career. Like you don't get tackle busts and like try assist and tries by running for that little line breaks. That's something that really alarms me over his career.
No, just an absolute deserves that position. Adam Reynolds does, and that number 3 is an absolute kicking masterclass out there in that wet. So let's look how we went this round. So we look at our fantasy team. It was very, very disappointing this round, with only 634 points scored. We couldn't
so
fill
we
the
kind of
full side.
dropped a few more ranks, eh?
Yeah,
That we
overall
gained back.
ranks not looking the best. It's kind of like an experiment side for us, even though my individual side's not doing the best right now. But just look at the back 5, not scoring many. Penasini might be a trade this week, and also going Tupanua. I still reckon Finafaku is a hold this week.
What are your thoughts on trading Sility Tupanua off the bench?
Oh
Like,
yeah, definitely
give
a
him a
sell for
hold or
me.
what?
If we look at what he scores, oh, if we have a look at what he scores on a off
Well,
the bench,
he doesn't really have the PPM there, does he?
no, he not especially not this year.
Yeah. Because I read a thing that he could be coming on through the middle, which I like him a bit more, but I just still don't think through the middle he has that PPM.
100% not. Where are we?
And he doesn't have his break even of 26.
We looking like he's got a couple 40s off minutes.
But he probably only gets 35
There's
minutes unless there's an
50.
injury.
Yeah, I just don't see it. He's missed a lot of tackles this year on the edge.
But on the other
Um,
side, Angus Crichton could pose as a very good buy this week.
Angus Crichton. I said much about Nat Butcher also maybe being a buy. Just depth in the side if he can hold that 80-minute roll.
Yeah, I just don't. I think I'd give Angus a week to see how many minutes he gets because Nat only gets to 60, and Angus probably doesn't make as much money as you'd like in the 60 minutes role.
Talk about a guy, Sam Hughes. Everyone thought he would be the money. They thought he'd play minutes, and
Well,
wow, he's just
I
been
don't understand
disappointing.
what is Cameron doing. He's their biggest forward and their best, most influential forward. He's playing 15 minutes,
Yeah,
but with Preston out and that other guy Kurt Moran out, I'd hold him just because I think he can get a few more minutes.
maybe a couple extra 2 minutes,
Yeah, maybe.
hopefully. But Jamin Salmon I was also talking about. He still played 60 minutes. They used to call him the deck
Well,
chair in Penrith. Seraldo called him.
he did play centre because Adekar got injured or failed. So
Oh, actually, I did
again,
not pick up on that.
he was killing it. It was like 20 from 25 minutes and moved to the centres.
Yeah, a bit disappointing. Have a look at my side now. Overall, I played with 15 this week, which is a bit went all right for me. Scored 690. Oh, I was just gonna keep going back to this. Where's my side? I scored 690. Pappenhausen. I kept in my wing fullbacks and only played one wing fullback this week, and it probably still scored higher than Fanshaw's Fanshaw's wing fullbacks and totals. Yeah, that's my
Oh man,
side.
I had everything possible wrong in my team this week after low scores and that.
Yeah, I'm a bit shambles this week. We know Pappenhausen comes back. I still need to get rid of Kenny, and Piakura and Tupanua. So it's just a bit
And Chan
shambles.
gone, Galvin gone, and
Mm. What has
Chan
happened with
dropped.
Chet?
Well, I think Sean just got the spot over him, and maybe his hand's still affecting him and that.
Mm, mm. Well, I'm still happy. I will go yellow again, captain this week. Carrigan's still there, just a bit of depth. Hoskin goes. I reckon I'm getting rid of both my edges this week, and I'll give Sam
I
Sam
feel
the
like
starting spot.
you kind of need to keep Sility Tupanua because he's got that green tick next to him, and you just play the 17 and then sell Keeney.
Yeah, I definitely do need to get a new wing fullback. I don't know. I won't. I probably will go for a hopefully cheaper option, but there's not many out there. Like I won't be looking at wingers. I'll be looking at fullbacks because
Or
they're
Blaze
just.
Talangi if you can't if you can figure out a way to get someone starting in centres
Mm,
that can play wing fullback, he's a good option.
yeah, but otherwise, if I can sort that out, my team's tad bit of shambles of late with that terrible rank of 9,000.
Yeah,
I I was, I think, 400th at one point in round four, and weren't you 30?
yeah, I was, and now I'm pushed out to 6,600,
Yeah,
and I
what
scored
all can change.
648. I just had everything wrong.
But if we use our trades wisely this week, hopefully you can get well. We'll have a look at your team, Fantra. I can actually get that up.
So yeah,
Um,
this week I'm thinking of I'm gonna hold Mitch Kenny. I'm holding
yeah,
100.
I did say
I'm
hold Mitch
holding
Kenny.
230k,
Well,
and
interesting about Kenny. The only stat he made any points off was tackling. That's
yeah,
the
I
only
know.
stat in 80 minutes. Is just so
Yeah,
less missed
and
tackles from him, and he's 40 easily.
I'm very happy with my middles.
Yeah, same with me.
Zach Hosking is gone. Jaden Sewer, I'm happy with him.
It was good.
I feel like I'm missing that gun half, which is why this week I'm looking to bring in Dylan Brown.
Yeah, he's a 600k. He looks good. Turbo, you keep him 100%. I don't reckon you buy Turbo this week, especially just
Turbo could
against
not catch a
Penrith.
ball. Like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, like he was playing against catching Adam Reynolds bombs out there.
And
But
Jacob Carraz just so
very disappointing.
inconsistent.
Yeah, I said that very much on him.
Is Ben Trebojevic a hold or not?
Yeah, I reckon he's a hold. Even if you can, I was talking about even getting in a wing fullback center guy like like Ruben Garrick to even just try and slide Ben Travojevic to
Yeah,
maybe
well,
even because you
I
still
know
make money.
I'm moving Carraz up to my centers and then bringing in Blaze and starting Blaze over both Strange and Burbo.
Like I think I got 100k left in the bank or something to buy, but pretty much that's all we
And
have.
I do get Pappenhausen and Grant back this week, which
Yeah,
is a healthy inclusion for me.
it's very good for all of us.
And this week, I'm sticking to C on Yo, and next week will be an interesting one. But I think Harry Grant, I think we saw him come into his own a little bit more next week, and I think
Yeah,
he's just his form will ramp up.
100%. And Pappenhausen's looking electric, stays injury free. But thank you guys so much for watching this Round Results podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow for Teamless Tuesday.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Thank you.
I can tell you, mate.